It's about time with Rashawn's About Time Boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. What's up to my About Time Boxing family and the Trill 100 Mil gang? Thank you to every single one of y'all who has taken out the time to watch my videos, like the videos, share the videos, and leave the comments. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that has subscribed to the channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel and you're watching this video or any of my videos for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and encourage others to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification button to stay up on the latest with Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Before I jump into the topic at hand, there's a young fella who has a YouTube channel. It's called Nate's Boxing Nation. So he's a young guy, he's a young kid. So everybody, please, everybody that watches this video, please show Nate some love and go to his YouTube channel, Nate's Boxing Nation, and subscribe to his channel. And let's show this young brother some love, give him some support, you know what I mean? And listen, I appreciate y'all for doing that. Again, Nate's Boxing Nation. Shout out to my guy Rebel Life Boxing. Shout out to Mark Nash, Hustlers Home Boxing, MZ, Always Talk Boxing. Shout out to New Media, and shout out to all of y'all that rock with me. Y'all rock with me, I rock with y'all. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so alright, so we know Shawn Porter said that Jaron Ennis was overrated. And then he went on Twitter and said, I meant what I said. Okay, now it was Fight Hub that he did the interview with when when the guy asked him, could Jaron Ennis beat the top guys? If he was to fight them now, could he beat them? And he man, he had that smile on his face like, yo, why you gonna do that to me? And this is while he was promoting this fight, for Terrence Crawford. Okay. And when he couldn't pronounce Boots' name, called him Jaron Ennis. Oh, please don't call me out. Nah, that kid, he's a problem. I do not want to fight him. Shawn Porter, your words, Shawn Porter. And now he's trying to, he's trying to explain or justify what he meant. But if y'all saw the interview that he did with the guy, and the guy was trying to clean it up. Oh, I think you said, I'm gonna play the audio. Oh, I think you said it the wrong way. What I think you meant to say is, no. That man clearly said, I meant what I said. And that's why when the guy was like, oh, well, I think what you meant to say, and Shawn Porter, that little smirk that he got. I'm telling you, listen, there's jealousy in the air. Why are you so jealous of Jaron Ennis? He earning his stripes just like anybody else. Are you upset at the fact that the buzz surrounding him wasn't surrounding you like that when you was working your way up in your career? And the guy was saying, oh, I think what you meant to say, he's unproven. He got almost 30 professional fights with 26 knockouts. How much more he need to prove? See, this is why I did a video before and I said, is the boxing world trying to slight Jaron Ennis? Because you got Shawn Porter was a champion before he had 20 professional fights. I think he was 17-0 when he was a world champion. But he didn't, you know what I mean? He wasn't talking about, he wasn't ready. And any fight that would have came along during that course of his career, I guarantee you he wouldn't have said about himself, he ain't ready. If you a fighter, you supposed to be confident in yourself. Because if you're not, then why are you in the game? Boots is a confident fighter. But if you ever met him in person, one of the nicest people that you could ever meet. Straight up. But because people are saying that he can, he can beat this guy, he can beat this guy. If you understand boxing, you understand the game of boxing, the styles of boxing, and how they do or don't translate and or match up in the ring. Certain things you just know. And I don't understand why you got the same type of mindset that other people have when it come to good black fighters who's destined to be great. See, you was just a fighter who was destined to be good. You can see it. Certain fighters you can see they're destined to be great. Now here it is, Lomachenko was 18-2 with 11 knockouts. But I didn't hear you saying that Lomachenko was unproven. Why? Because he was a unified champion and he still basically got less than 20 professional fights. Teofimo Lopez, still less than 20 professional fights. He was a unified champion. But Jaron Ennis is trying to get his opportunity. People see, this is what I'm tired of. I'm tired of people keep talking about the level of opposition that he fights. And an example I give y'all of that is Lomachenko fought Jose Pedraza and beat him. So now he's great. It's great. Lomachenko fought Richard Comey. Beat him, because remember, he took the layoff after he lost. Now he beat Richard Comey. He's back. Great Lomachenko. Gervonta Davis knocked out Jose Pedraza, but he's still unproven. Lomachenko beat him and he's proven, and he's destined for greatness. But Tank he's still unproven. Teofimo Lopez knocked out Richard Comey in 2 rounds. I'm not a huge fan of Teofimo Lopez, but y'all see the example here in what I'm saying. Why is it that there's an exception when other fighters do certain things, they're destined for greatness? The same fighter, a up and coming fighter who's destined for greatness can beat the same fighters that some other fighters beat now all of a sudden. Because guess what? I guarantee you, if Shawn Porter would have fought Lipinets, the outcome would have been different. He wouldn't have did the Lipinets what Jaron Ennis did. And he probably wouldn't have did the Delorme what Terrence Crawford or Jaron Ennis did. Now, I remember before Jaron Ennis started fighting on Showtime, Steve Farhood came to Philadelphia. He was fighting on the card here. Steve Farhood came here with, I think the guy name is Raul Marquez or Rafael Marquez, I think his name is. And Steve Farhood was telling him about this Ennis kid. You got to see this kid, Jaron Ennis. You could tell he's going to be something special. The Marquez guy said, hey, he said, well, it's because he's not fighting on TV, not under the big lights. Yes, all that changes. They look good when they're not fighting on TV, but soon as those cameras are on them, everything is different. And when Boots got his first opportunity to fight on TV, what did he do? Shine bright like a diamond. Like a diamond. And he's been performing like that ever since. And then I remember them saying, oh, well, every fight was supposed to be the toughest fight of his career. Then when he started making these guys look mediocre, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, well, he fighting cab drivers or Uber drivers or this or that. Like now everybody trying to discredit his progress by trying to demean the fighters that he's been fighting. The other fighter is still a professional fighter. And they still have to prepare themselves accordingly. This is why other fighters really don't demean their opposition, because they know anything can happen in the fight. But for another fighter to demean the opposition of somebody that a fighter fights, then you might as well be saying the same thing about yourself and the people that you fought. You didn't want nobody demeaning the people that you fought when you was coming up, Shawn Porter, did you? No, you didn't. And you beat a Paul Malignaggi who retired still with 7 knockouts to date. What was so spectacular about that? And I liked Paulie when he was boxing. But now you just trying to discredit, Jaron Ennis, and then the excuses that you trying to make up for why you said what you said. Come on, man. No. You said he was overrated. And you said that out of jealousy, in my opinion. You said it out of jealousy, in my opinion. Because you see the skill, the power, the speed. You see the diversity in Jaron Ennis. You see this. You see how good he is. So if you see how good he is now, you see the potential that he has to be great. And now you want to take away from that. You see that stuff in him and you wish that you had those qualities that he had, because if you did, you would still be fighting. And you know that, man, if I could do what he doing, I would still be fighting. And you mad at the fact that, now listen, we're going to get into that. But I'm going to play this audio of this interview with Shawn Porter and this guy, and then we're going to dive back into it though. So let's listen.
Jaron Ennis. Yeah. So I just want to get a clarification, because it came to me that it came out the wrong way. Like, I felt like what you were trying to say was he's not proven yet. So before you start giving him all these labels, these titles, let him do the things that you're saying he can do against these guys before you label that label on him. But let me get your clarification on it.
Yeah, I mean, I basically spelled out what I meant after I said it on the Porterway podcast. But essentially, yeah, that's it. I think that's probably the wrong term to use is overrated.
But you meant what you said.
Yeah, maybe unproven. However, I feel
you can't say he's unproven. He got almost 30 professional fights.
There's a couple of things. I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
That's it. He's trying to. You hear him trying to. He's trying to explain it.
When I use the phrase overrated, I'm basically throwing that at anyone who does not follow the boxing game and has not watched Jaron Ennis since he was in the Golden Gloves as an amateur.
Now I'm gonna stop it right there. He talking about the people who don't know the fight game and who hasn't been watching him since the amateurs. I knew Jaron Ennis since he was a kid. I used to train with his brothers. His father was my trainer too. Okay? So what are you talking about? Even people in the gym back then knew that he was special. As a kid, they knew that. He was 12 or 13 beating up grown men in sparring sessions. You see, Jaron Ennis his mindset is not too dissimilar from Floyd Mayweather, and his father's methods is not too dissimilar from Floyd Mayweather Sr. Floyd's father always trained him like a pro. Jaron Ennis' father always trained him like a pro. That's why he was able to settle into it so fast and so good and look good doing it. True story. I remember when Jaron Ennis came back from the Nationals. He might have been about 17 or 18. Him and his brother Farad, shout out to Farad and Pooh and the Ennis family. They came by my store. And they just came back from the Nationals, so I'm like, so what's next? And Boots said that he was going, go and try to, qualify for the Olympics. And he said, if I don't make the Olympics, if I don't qualify for the Olympics, he said, I'm turning pro. And even in this interview that Shawn Porter did, he made mention about him when he talked about if they didn't know him since the amateurs, because he lost to one of Gary Russell's brothers. But that same brother he lost to in the amateurs is the same brother that's avoiding him now. He's avoiding him, period. And this is, this is no insult to the Russell family. It's not. Because they some skilled fighters. They are skilled fighters. But we saw Gary Russell Jr. avoid Devin Haney. We seen him fake call out people. We seen that. So the one who beat Boots in the amateurs, come on, man. That was a match that was already made that he couldn't get out of. And if the fight is on YouTube, y'all can go watch the fight and y'all make y'all pick. I don't think he beat him. We know Floyd got robbed in the Olympics. Shakur Stevenson got robbed in the Olympics. You see what I'm saying? So if y'all can watch the fight for yourself, I don't think Boots lost the fight. Straight up. I don't think he lost the fight. So for him to say that, I mean, come on, man. We gonna listen. Let's listen some more.
Since he lost the Olympic trials to one of the Russell brothers, and since he's been professional, a lot of people in the boxing game, they don't know about these fighters until other people start talking about them, till there becomes, for the sake of words, a accompanying line, or here's what you know about this fighter.
You said a company line. Boots is earning it the hard way. You don't see him with all these. You don't see him with all these endorsements and with all, you know, with all this backing behind him.
Drew, I'm going to show you today how to make a tradition.
Sorry about that, but it seems like they trying to stack the deck against him. Again, check the resume of a lot of fighters when they became world champions. Some of them had less than 20 professional fights. Some of them may have had just a little over 20 fights. Jaron is 28-0 with 26 knockouts. You saying he's unproven? How? Listen. When he was going to fight Delorme the first time, when Delorme caught COVID, everybody was like, man, Delorme going to be a test for him. Blah, 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 blah. And I said, man, listen. I said, he going to make Delorme look like nothing. No, man, I'm telling you, Delorme, he one of them guys, man. He built to last. Then he ended up fighting Van Heerden. They subbed Chris Van Heerden. So what I'm trying to understand is, you saying he's unproven. And again, because I always got to make this clear, because it seems like a lot of people misunderstand what I say and how I say things, or they think I'm taking shots. No shots taken here. When Errol Spence fought Chris Van Heerden was Errol Spence's measuring stick. When Errol beat him, they said, oh, he the real deal. He ready. He's ready. Boots was going to stop him in one round. In one round, he was going to stop him. Oh, well, you know, he still got, you know, yeah, Ennis look good, but he still got a lot to prove. Okay. So then now it comes to him fighting Sergey Lipinets. Lipinets fought Mikey Garcia. He was a junior welterweight champion. Stopped Lamont Peterson. When he stopped Lamont Peterson, everybody was like, yo, Lipinets gonna be a problem at 47. And I talked to a lot of people when the fight got made with Jaron Ennis and Lipinets. I had people calling me tomorrow, yo, man, you heard about Boots and Lipinets? Man, that drink, man, I don't know, man. That boy, he gonna, man, he gonna test Boots. He gonna test Boots. And I told everybody, I said, I'm telling y'all, that fight is gonna be different. I'm telling y'all, I said, Boots is gonna destroy this guy. No, man. You see what Lipinets did to Lamont Peterson? I said, Lamont Peterson, and I like Lamont Peterson. No disrespect to him. I said, but Lamont Peterson is not Jaron Ennis. This kid, I keep telling everybody, I said, listen, this kid is different. He's different. And even when I first started doing videos, and I was making videos, and I was doing stuff about Boots, I used to have people talking about, oh, man, you talking about Jaron Ennis, man? Man, watch, he ain't gonna get nowhere. He ain't nobody, man. He fighting a bunch of bums. I used to always have people say that. But I keep telling everybody, like, y'all don't know, like, this kid is a gym rat. Y'all ever watch his interviews after he fight and they ask him what's next? I'm gonna rest on Sunday. I'm right back in the gym on Monday. He's not playing. Boots is not, Jaron Ennis is not playing no games out here. And y'all watching him work. Y'all seeing everything unfold before y'all eyes. And yet and still, you got guys like Shawn Porter talking about he's overrated. So either he's overrated or he's not. Either he's proven or he's not. Because the guy, you hear the guy trying to clean it up. I think you meant to say he's unproven, maybe. He said, well, maybe. maybe unproven. I wouldn't say either he is or he not. You sound like a hypocrite, man. You sound like a hypocrite saying something like that. What is it that Jaron Ennis has to do to prove that he's ready? Because, all right, let me tell you like this here. Because I didn't have no intentions on making this video long. I never have intentions on making long videos, but seems like it's just unnecessary. When Larry Merchant came to Floyd Mayweather's home and did an interview with him, this was before he fought Oscar and all them guys. This is when he was calling out guys like Shane Mosley, Winky Wright. He was calling out Oscar and all that. So Larry Merchant said, Floyd, why is it do you think you're not fighting the big fights? Floyd said, it's not that I'm not going to fight the big fights, but I can't make these guys, Winky Wright, Shane Mosley, Oscar, I can't make these guys fight me. So if they don't want to fight me, I got to fight the guys underneath them. And if they don't want to fight, I got to fight the guys underneath them. He said, I got a job to do. Boots has a job to do, so he's supposed to sit on the shelf and let himself get rusty, stay and not be active. If the top guys don't want to fight him, then he got to fight the guys underneath them. And if the guys underneath them don't want, you know how many, believe it or not, Jaron Ennis will probably have more than 30 professional fights now. But you know how many people, saw his name on paper and was like, oh yeah, we'll take that fight. But then when they saw who they had to face, they was like, oh, nah, we ain't gonna fight that guy. Even Robert Guerrero and his father told Jaron Ennis' father, man, listen, we like y'all, much respect to y'all, but we trying to stay away from your son. Terrence Crawford said out of his mouth that Jaron Ennis is the biggest threat in the welterweight division. Terrence Crawford said this. And it's the same guy who knocked you on your ass. And now you saying that he's overrated? Unproven? You saying he is, but then he's not. He's unrated, but he's not. He's unproven, but he's not. Come on, man. You sound these hypocritical. This sound like hypocritical statements that you making. Are you that angry? The only person you could be angry at, Shawn Porter, is your father. That's who you trusted. That's who you entrusted your career and your training with. Or is it that you mad at the fact that you see, the diversity in Jaron Ennis and how he can make adjustments on the fly. He can raise his levels because you only had one style of fighting. And people knew that. You angry because you couldn't raise your levels when you needed to? You couldn't make adjustments on the fly when you needed to? Before you fought Terrence Crawford, I told everybody why you would lose that fight. And you lost the fight for the very same reasons I said you would. And y'all can go back and look at those. Look at those videos I did leading up to the fight with him and Terrence Crawford. Look at how many people looked at those videos and responded to that. And they knew it was true. Shout out to my guy, Kofi's Universe. Dope boy, shout out to you too, man. But I'm telling you, this kid is special. Now, y'all can sleep on him all y'all want. Those who want to listen to Shawn Porter and what he's saying, go ahead and listen to that stuff. Don't turn around later, when Boots start making, when he really do all, and then everybody tell me, oh yeah. That Boots kid, yeah, man, listen. Because I made a lot of people believers. A lot of people didn't believe what I was saying, but they like, yeah, nah, he the real deal. There's no way Lipman Yes is going to be a threat because he fought Mikey Garcia. He was a junior welterweight champion. He stopped Lamont Peterson. Now he's a threat. But then when Boots knock him out, now all of a sudden, oh, he's a blown up junior middleweight and all that kind of stuff. Like, come on, stop it. Give the credit where the credit is due. That's why I say Jaron Ennis is an uncrowned champion. He should have a belt or two already. But I'm going to say this and then I'm going to end this video. Everybody's journey to the world title is different. And when Jaron Ennis get his shot, because his journey was much more harder and not like some of the others, not like Shawn Porter's and other people, the victories for him will be that much more sweeter. Don't forget to watch this video, like this video, share this video, but most importantly, please subscribe to this channel and encourage others to subscribe to Rashawn's About Time Boxing. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, and I'm rocking with y'all just the same.